What is up? It is I, Hoodie, and I'm back with another Top Ranking Trainers VOD review. So today we're going to watch Anime Bitches, simply because, number one, Absol is my favorite Pokemon. And so I am... I tried to make Absol work for a long time at the beginning, oh, I thought it was gone. That actually scared me a little bit. I felt like he was incredibly strong early game, but fell off very hard late game. So the higher that I climbed as I was getting through the ranks, the more it just felt very hard to use Absol. I feel like at the lower ranks, you can abuse the fuck out of him. But this person is at the top level with Absol. And this is also post-patch Absol. So I want to know if... I want to know if this is using Sucker... Oh my goodness. Using Sucker Punch Night Slash or not. I'm sorry. I wonder if I'll let that out. Probably not. Wait, is it still here? Okay. I want to know if they're using the Sucker Punch and the Night Slash variant. But either way, it should be just good to watch. We'll see if Absol is able to get a dub, assuming they will be in the jungle. But yeah, let's take a look at this review here. So, Rule 34 Pichu is on the other team. I hate all of these teams. I like literally hate every name in this. This is why I need to just only review like the Asian games. Number one, they're better. Most of the time, I guess number one, they're better. Number two, I don't have to look at these names. This is awful. I actually hate all of this. Based Mud Kipper. I see. My Boy Bluey. Kadu, Chromatic K. But yeah, my boy does have the skin, and we have a Zeraora. I didn't really pay much attention to that, but there is a Zeraora as his bot lane, which I think at high level is just a throw. Like, I am not sure what is really going on here, but we'll see how the team is able to work out. I feel like late game, this team falls off so hard. Like, your damage carry late game used to be Zeraora, but now they nerfed the ult. It's a lot harder to just, like, smite people. And the enemy team's gonna have a Garchomp late game, they're gonna have a Lucario late game, they're gonna have a Ninetales. You pretty much just have a Ninetales, and like maybe if your attack weight like scaling to shit and just get like hyper fed, I don't know. But I actually didn't see which move he took there. I'm not... Oh, he did take Sucker Punch, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna get to see some Sucker Punch gameplay. No longer Pursuit, the play is Sucker Punch. He's gonna reach level 5 and immediately pressure the enemy jungle, which is really, really good, actually. This is a huge learning point because characters like Gibble and like this is kind of what I used to do against the Ghastly teams, right? Because everybody used Ghastly in jungle for a while. Like, everyone used Gengar because he was just overpowered, or like overtuned at the lower elos, I guess, because there was no peel and stuff. But anyways, just go into their jungle and bully them. Just go into their jungle and just kill them. Right there, that was a really good dive by the Absol, but his team didn't follow up with him, which kind of wasn't cool. But it did allow his team to get the bees, which is pretty nice. He just kind of... he was able to get one kill, right? Like, he killed the Snorlax, and then he was able to get out of there, which is always super good. Now there's like a minute and 20 left before the Dreadnought, so we're going to see him come down and get his buffs again. I'm not sure if they'll spawn again before Dreadnought. They'll probably spawn again around Dreadnought if he kills him fast enough. But more than likely, this is going to be the one time that he gets him before. After both of these core fish, he'll be level 7. He's actually not even going to go for those core fish. He's gonna go for the middle one, which is Ninetales already took, and this this poor Gabite. This is kind of what can happen to Gabite like early game if the enemy team knows what they're doing. Like, if you're playing against like someone that knows what they're doing. Also, Lucario very strong. The fact that he almost got out of there with whatever that move is, kind of crazy. I also think Snorlax just kind of fed right. Oh, he didn't actually. He got a kill. Did he get a kill there? Yeah, he actually killed the Absol there. That was actually crazy. But this is a really, really high... This is actually a really high level Absol play already. I can already tell by the fact that he like immediately ran in to kill. He got a really, really good gank on the Gibble. Like, that was so important to set him back early. And now the entire red team has rotated down, but the blue team has not yet. And we do have like 4 seconds before the first Dreadnought. And the red team is in a better spot. The Absol coming into the fight a little bit late. Neither team really taken a lot of damage yet, though. The Gabite is like trying to start it because this Gabite is incredibly desperate to win this fight. Like, he needs to win this fight so bad. Also, he's... Oh, that was such a good jump. Okay, so he went the Psycho Cut variant of Absol. He went Psycho Cut Sucker Punch, which is really interesting. And they are going to win that first one. They pretty much won that because the Gabite decided that they wanted to start the fight, but the rest of the team wasn't on the same page. They were fighting at about where the blue team's at right now, but they were like... but the Gabite was still down bot. And so not only did he die down there being by himself, but he also got the Dreadnought at like half health before dying, or like 60% of its health before dying. So not the greatest. Not the greatest play from their Gabite, but super good play, obviously, from this Absol. So he is going to go back and get his farm again now after winning that Dreadnought. And this is kind of what I was saying before, right? Or like, I say before, but I said this in another VOD review of the Garchomp VOD review with Feral King. If that actually ends up going up, I think that'll end up going up. But after you win the Dreadnought fight, you don't need to score. Like, you don't need to aggress. You don't need to push anything. He immediately went back and got levels, and now has buffs, and is now back to fight this. And so they're going to get another kill on the... maybe they won't, actually. Well, there's no berries left. I'm assuming they'll get a kill here. Yeah, so they're going to get another kill. And that's wasted cooldowns, even if he doesn't die, which he does die. He got hit in the back and crit pretty hard there by the Absol, actually. But even so, like, he went back, he got the level lead, and now Absol is level 11, because not only did he go back to get the buffs, but then he came back, he got a double kill. I think it was a double kill, might have been a single. But he got a double kill and scored. So he has a 4 level advantage on the enemy team's Alola Ninetales, and a 2 level advantage on their opposing jungle. So this is just like it's honestly a showcase of how Absol should be played, to be honest. This is very, very good gameplay. The gank on the Gible obviously is incredibly situational based off of the jungle matchup that you're going in. But this guy just showing just good game knowledge in general by pushing that out. Now he's just kind of chilling with the Wigglytuff. The Wigglytuff just initiating on a lot of people. They got a kill, but now the Snorlax is just desperately trying to get out here. I'm not sure he will. He's at such high HP, but they do bait out the Eldegoss ultimate, which I guess is nice. I mean, if it gets them this Dreadnought, the Eldegoss ultimate was worth it. I guess it will. It will get them Dreadnought. Unless the Zero Aura jumps in and snipes it, which he was not able to. So that's a really, really big Dreadnought for the red team. That Dreadnought for the red team essentially means that they now have Garchomp, and it means that basically the rest of the game they're kind of like at power spike advantage, because as I said before, the team for red team, it like was really, really strong late game, and the team for blue team was really, really strong early game. And that's like the fact that you're getting to late game by 4.5 minutes into the game, very, very strong. I think I like the Psycho Cut to give you auto crits, right? Like the Psycho Cut auto crits into Sucker Punch. I kind of like that. I actually kind of like that. But now we see both teams, except for the Snorlax. I don't know what that man's doing. That man's kind of actually feeding this fight. Like, that Snorlax is kind of inting. Scoring that 11 was not worth it, my dude. I promise. He did recall, but they're all going to lose this fight because the Snorlax isn't there. The Garchomp is now going to die. The Garchomp is now down. The Snorlax came back, but he's there super late. The Lucario is low. They've all been pushed back. But at this point, so once you've pushed them all back, you should have... I mean, your team also doesn't have a lot of damage. But you should have probably like your Ninetales fighting the Rotom by now, because you've aggressively pushed them back. They have 2 people on cooldown. It was 3, but now it's only 2. And when the first couple people died, you should probably start Rotom, and then you've got the Absol to push them back into their tower, to push them down the lane. And so that way you'll get Rotom, and as soon as you kill Rotom, you instantly rotate to bot lane, because the Dreadnought is about to come back up as well. But what they didn't do was put somebody back there to start it. So now the issue is they are down their main damage with it, which is Zero Aura. Although they are going to get a kill on the Lucario anyway. And the enemy team is just like respawning and coming back. The Zeraora already positioning for the Dreadnought because they knew that it was about to come up. They don't really give a fuck about the Rotom. The red team kind of... the Snorlax giving really crucial vision actually on this Absol, and the Absol is going to go down. Because one thing that can happen a lot of times is that you kind of get into this state where you are just paying attention to what's in front of you and not really to the game state, so you don't see the timer for Dreadnought. So like what happens is that in that situation, because the Snorlax has vision, there's a giant red circle at the bottom of the map now because they see the Absol down there, and his team is now going to see that. So if like any of them weren't paying attention, they're going to see it. But there's not really time for this Dreadnought, I wouldn't think. Oh, there is. The Garchomp just obliterated it. That is actually insane. That's actually like insane. So now we're gonna see the all 5 of them are down at the Dreadnought, right? Like, yeah, all 4 are there, and then the Snorlax is in the back. So like ideally, I'm not sure why the Snorlax ended up being so far behind, but ideally you want this the other way. Like as like damaged people here, I know they're all hyped up. They just got their shields. They're all going ham. They're crazy. But you kind of want your Snorlax to be the initiator. Like, you get those shields for a while. So you kind of want to wait and go in after your Snorlax. Like, let the Snorlax heavy slam on somebody and then initiate. But the Lucario and the Garchomp are kind of just like, yeah, we just killed Dreadnought. We know we're higher level than you. Like, we're about to pop the fuck off. And the issue is that they are kind of caught out where they don't really have the sustain to stand in there. So this Lucario, when it power punches in, it's probably going to get just like evaporated by Sing and then discharge or something, but we'll see what happens. The Lucario cancels the power up punch, which is good. I really thought he was going to commit to it, but that's really good that he didn't. And they're pushing in as a team. A really good heavy slam initiate from the Snorlax. Let's go back. There's a lot of stuff happening. The Absol is going to die to the Garchomp ult, and that is going to be a full team wipe. So right there, I genuinely feel like the blue team played that better. They kited back all the way into the little choke right there, and then they initiated with the heavy slam into the Sing, and they tried to pull out like a team fight dub that way. But the problem was, again, as I kind of said from the beginning, was that the Garchomp had his ult. And the power spike with the Garchomp is insane, and the Lucario was in full power up punch going crazy mode, and the Ninetales, I believe, also had their ult. So and maybe even the Eldegoss. But yeah, just the power spike late game for that team was crazy. And that's not to say that the first team lost on team select. They were put at disadvantage on team select, but what they did wrong was they lost that second Dreadnought fight, and they didn't really rotate down effectively. So like the Absol rotated down and then just got caught out and died, so they couldn't really fight the second Dreadnought at all. And then like, didn't they lose the? I'm like trying to remember. There's like so much that happened. Didn't they also lose another Dreadnought? So they lost like 2 Dreadnoughts because they lost one at the very last second before Zapdos. I think they lost literally 2 Dreadnoughts. I'm not 100% sure. But I think they might have lost 2 Dreadnoughts. But anyways, when you lose those against a team that like has a Garchomp and then like stuff like that, like specifically Garchomp and Charizard and like Pokemon like that, it's just impossible to come back from. I feel like this is just an FF situation right here, because you can't really kill. I mean, they're gonna kill the Garchomp actually, but 4-13, and the Snorlax is also gonna score, and the Lucario is waiting on pad. So I don't really know what I mean, they can pressure multiple at once, but they've got 2 people to jump, so it really doesn't matter. That's just gonna be kind of game from there. There's 50 seconds left. There's not really much more that can be done. I'm gonna put it into speed up mode so we can get through the final end of this, because this end game is kind of unwinnable. In this end game, kind of what you do is you just as defender, like, you don't have to push out again at all. You never have to score again. Your lead is massive. Obviously, you can't see the scoreboard like this, but if you're playing in the game, you know that you have a big advantage. So you literally just chill. You don't have to go out. You sit on the jump pad the entire time. As soon as one person leaves on the jump pad, you need to have someone else recall and also sitting on the jump pad. The only way that you lose this is if you just lose concentration and nobody defends the lane. But even then, they can only score like a max 100 on the lane, I guess, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I feel like this was a really good match to watch. I feel like we were able to learn a good bit from this match, and I feel like the Absol player was really good. I just feel like the comp wasn't the greatest. They had one bad rotation, and they did not kill Rotom in that instance after the Dreadnought fight. They didn't go take Rotom, so I feel like that kind of put him at a disadvantage. But it is what it is, I guess. Good play from the Absol. Thank you guys for watching the video, and hopefully I will see you guys soon with more Pokemon Unite content. Have a good night, guys. Later. 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 Okay, now I can turn it off. Bye, guys.